Welcome, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We're going to get started here in just a moment. Thank you for joining in to the Hour of Power, to your Hour of Power. We're looking forward to this time here of healing, peace, and growth. All right, welcome. I am Coach Santos here, the world's #1 problem gambling interventionist. I am so proud that I can say that today. And it's not about the gamble, folks. So, welcome, community. I am Coach Santos out of Stockton, California. I believe I sent an email to Jim to be on the program tonight here. Let me do something real quick. By the way, welcome, community. Those of you that are here, this is your hour of power. This is a place for healing, for growth. We're creating an environment here for us to uh, take our lives, our minds, our abilities, what have you, to the next level. If you guys are with me, stick around. I think we've got a good uh, broadcast number 331, broadcast number 331. Once again, out of Stockton, California, via YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Today's topic is the cause. Today's topic, the cause. I'm not talking about Santa Claus here. I know we're in the month of December, but we're talking about the clause. All right. We're going to get into this here. We got a proverb out of Deuteronomy, the 5th book of Moses. And we are going to do our best. I'm going to do my best to create energy in here for you to think and to recognize. It's not about the gamble. It really isn't. We're going to go a little further today. Investigate here. So welcome, Bill. Welcome, Race. Ken, let me see if Jim is Jim might not be available. Let me see here for a moment. I'll be right with you guys here. By the way, if you have a question, please. The topic is the cause. You know, cause effect. Cause effect. We're not going to really deal with gambling too much, or are we? Yes, we are going to deal. We are going to confront gambling, but kind of like through the proper door. Let me finish this up here. That makes sense. We're gonna attack gambling and gaming and anything that has to do with gambling, gaming, online. You might be betting on horses that are running backwards, or you might be betting on rooster tails. All right, we're gonna get into this. So get excited with me. Come on, get a question together. Make sure that you grab your notes. Better send this to Jim here again. Did we send it? We send it. Okay, there it is. All right. Hey, if you want to come on the camera, you're welcome to do that. I do have available for a few guests. And I know I'm just a one-man show here. Hey, don't bust my chops. I'm still on the 7-day challenge. Are you? Did you make your 7-day challenge? If you did, hooray! Shut up! Powerful. And if you didn't, what result did you get from that one, right? If you failed your 7-day challenge, if you failed it, day 2, day 3, day 4, whatever day, what result did you get from it that you can learn, right? Folks, we got to listen, and I'm particularly speaking to men here because I don't see any women. We have to get the weaknesses that are plaguing us. They're just the weaknesses that we have. They're plaguing us. And we have to absolutely, before 2024, if you have an area of your life that you know is a weakness, my friend, I'm glad you're here. But please Welcome, Jim, all the way from, let me see. Every once in a while, I forget. I got to close my eyes and think. I think it's Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah, Tucson.
Anyway, there we go. Welcome, Jim. Good to have you. And we are the topic of the program tonight of the broadcast, number 331, again, once again. So here we have Jim, Coach Jim, Teacher Jim out of all the way from Tucson, is the cause. Jim, we're going to talk about the cause. Now, you had some thoughts. We spoke about that. I believe that it has to do with what we're speaking about here. Sadly to say, most people are failing big time. Uh, if you feel like you're completely failing, well, then you need to hear what we're going to talk about in this topic here today, because um, I might say, you know what, don't focus on stopping the gambling. And I'll get into that. Okay. I'll get into that why. Don't focus on stopping your gambling. There's something much more, an alternative. So, welcome, Jim. Um, what's what is the what's going on what's in your mind right now?
Okay, so the topic today is the cause. The cause, and are we referring to the
To
cause of all our problems, all our issues, all our addictions, all our escapes, all that kind of stuff? If you talk
well,
about,
um, let me do something real quick here. Well, basically the cause you were talking about. I don't remember exactly what you were saying in the text, but you were talking about how I was getting the impression that you were talking about the body.
yes, okay.
Affects the body, what we go through in the body. And
Mhm.
I've been discovering some really remarkable things lately, personally myself, which is really good because, it's hard to teach if you haven't really gone through it. It's kind of hard to share something with somebody. And I find that all the time in my life. I don't know if you do, Jim, but sometimes we want to share something with people, but we haven't really experienced it. We
Mhm.
can't really express it in words and thoughts. Um, Anyhow, go ahead. I
Yeah,
want to welcome, and I'm looking for questions. Go ahead. I am looking for questions. So if you have a question, I'm going to see it.
so I
Go
think,
ahead.
I mean, like when we talk about the body and the mind, right? It's like oftentimes we are reactive to the body. The body mean to say how we feel, right? How we feel. Sometimes we feel great and we can go and take on the world. We don't focus on all the problems, the issues, the possibilities of destruction. We just go at it, right? Because we feel good. We have energy. We have we have enough rest. Um, you know, uh, our blood pressure is okay, so we can go ahead and do certain things when we feel good. But if the body doesn't feel good, and it could mean to say you feel anxiety. Let's say
Mm,
you feel scared. You have all this high blood pressure running through your system. That could go ahead and cause, like you say, cause you to do certain things like go to your addiction, that safe place, right? So we have to kind of be aware of how we feel, what the body is going through, right? Um, I was thinking about, you know, going through the day and just taking notes on how we feel throughout the day and ask ourselves, I
journaling.
felt this way. What did I do? How did I respond? How did I react to these certain feelings? I was tired. I was energetic. I was nervous. I was scared. You know, you know, it's like when
Mhm.
we are scared, sometimes we feel like kind of weak. It's like we don't really have much strength if we're kind of frightened. We kind of collapse almost, you know, or run away, you know. Um, I guess you can go and say it's kind of like the fight or flight syndrome, right? You can get pumped up with a lot of adrenaline to fight back, right? And even fighting back, you can get angry, right? The body, it's like you start getting angry. this feeling of frustration, and you explode, right? Um, and you just go throughout the day really angry, and that could go and drive you to, those addictions, whether it be alcohol to feel better, to feel more relaxed, or even the
Yeah.
casino, right, to feel more relaxed, right? How do we feel, right? The body,
Well,
and maybe.
here, I mean, those are all important points. The body is experiencing all of these things, and I believe. Saludos. I wanted to get back to Bill's question. I know you have a thought here. I want to really focus on this a little bit and see if we can put some. I'm still having an issue feeling normal. I spend so much time on my phone watching internet videos. You might be, one thing that could be an observation, you might be doing too much. You might be doing too much instead of focusing a little bit more on uh, maybe taking one video or one book, or maybe taking a question such as this one that I'm going to share that has to do with what Jim is sharing also. Because there's something a little bit more, there's something more dynamic, there's something deeper, there's something more mysterious that we really need to be focusing on. And if you're having a hard time escaping or cracking the code, to whatever it is that you're doing, doesn't matter whether it's gambling or overeating, but in particular, we are talking about gambling here. We want to focus on gambling because I want to help get you guys into the PNGZ. I believe Jim does too. So, what's happening? My number one question here, and I got to read the proverb, but what's happening deep inside? That's a question I'm going to ask you right here. I'm asking Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. What's happening deep inside? That's a question. Now, I want you to think about what I just shared. I'm not going to I'm going to do my best to give you some seconds here just to think about what I just said. Jim, um, I'm going to read Deuteronomy 18:15 here, and then we'll get back into the thoughts about what's happening with your body. What is really going on? Are we actually going after the wrong thing? And I'm not talking about gambling is obviously the wrong thing. Playing cards, if you have problems, right? If you're drowning in debt, it's obviously the wrong thing. But is that really what you should be focusing on? Or is the signals that our bodies, the mere fact that you're going to a casino is a signal to you, right? The mere fact that you're walking to a casino, you're spending money that you shouldn't be spending, your body's doing something. You might be sitting there, man, I don't want to do this, but your body's doing it. You can't stop. You say to yourself, you can't stop doing this. What's going on? It's almost like your body's just basically taking off on its own. You may feel like that. And then you're trying to defeat gambling, right? You're trying to get yourself out of the casino. You're trying to do this. You're trying to do the other thing, and it's not working. It's just not working at all. Not one iota at all. It's not working. We're gonna get into this here in a minute. I believe that you have an alternative that you should be looking at. And I don't know if I've ever really brought it up this way on a live, but I'm going to do this here because it's something that's going to give you some really, really good food for thought here in a minute. Let me get into Deuteronomy 18 real quick, and then we'll get Jim, and we'll get back on this thought of the cause. The cause. Deuteronomy 18:15. By the way, this is the fifth book in the Old Testament of the Bible, and it reads this was written, it was scribed by Moses, but the author is God. I believe that the Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken. That's an interesting verse there in Deuteronomy. He would raise a prophet up and he's already giving him commands to the people, his people. You're going to listen to this person that I'm sending you. And of course, that was the Lion of the tribe of Judah that would become Jesus, the Savior. Um, so go ahead, Jim. I want to make sure I keep this thought fresh. We are
Yeah.
speaking to Bill and to all of us. We're kind of focusing on this,
Yeah.
these things here.
Yeah. I'd like
But
to kind of address Bill's situation. Spend a lot of time on the phone, being distracted by those internet videos, feeling unaccomplished. Well, I think, you know, uh, in our mind, we're trying to search for solutions, right? But, we're running around in our mind, and it's like all the doors are locked, right? And it's dark. Doors are locked. We don't know
well,
where to go.
it seems that
It
way.
seems like that way, right? It seems like that. We don't have enough information. And just imagine, like, let's say, I mean, we've all lost our keys before, hunting around looking, and we don't feel good. We feel a lot of anxiety. It's like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So I mean, that's a horrible feeling. The body doesn't react very well to that. That's anxiety, that's fear, frustration, anger. So I mean, instead of, going on that search in the mind for what to do, we like to go ahead and stop by the YouTube, the social media, the Facebook videos, the casino, you know, the bar, the food, right? And we
Yes.
hang out there, and it feels better, at those places, instead of running around in our mind, you know, searching, trying to, search for the unlocked door, or the keys to unlock the door, to help us find our real solutions. And it's like, when we can't find that solution, when we feel that we can't find it, our body doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. So we run to the next best thing, right, Santos? We run to the next best thing. It's that to an addiction, you
And
know?
so, but what we should be doing is see, this goes back to our childhood. It goes back to the training that we've had years back. We've learned how to ignore ourselves. We've learned how to ignore our emotions because mom and dad didn't give us the attention that we needed. We didn't get the attention that we needed. So, what we've learned early on in life is how to ignore ourselves. And therefore, we get caught up with addictions. And now we're trying to break the addiction down. So I didn't know this, and I really didn't realize it until now because it's been several years now, and I keep going back. Wow, how did I do this? How I'm always, I never stop asking myself the question. Just because I overcame gambling, there's so much that I can learn by going back and looking at my mistakes. One thing I'm going to say to you is that you're distracted. I can tell Bill is distracted. Jim was talking about him being distracted here just a few minutes ago. You spend time, and I said, watch one video, watch it 20 times. Doesn't that make it easier on you, right? Just a little bit easier. Some food for thought. Why watch 20 videos when you can watch one 20 times and get the most out of it? Then you can go to others. The problem is that we are distracted. We've become lethargic, and we've become lazy, and we become prideful, and pride blinds you. So now you no longer really see the cause. The cause is something that's hidden away, it's far. Now we're trying to deal with the effect. That's the topic of my podcast today, 331. And once again, I'm glad Facebook is here. I'm glad LinkedIn is here. I'm glad Bill's here. I'm glad Coach Jim is here. Mark, Kevin, Laura, John, Race. I hope, Jesse, I hope to get your question in here because you might be suffering really, really quietly inside. And this might be news to you, man. Have I really been focusing on the wrong things? And that's why I can't really get away from the gamble or the online betting, sweating. I know this might be a little bit hard. It might be, but man, is it the effect that you must tackle? Our body's telling you something, right? Jim, your body's telling you something. When you go to the casino, that's an addiction, but your body's telling you something. Hey, let's go get, you know, earlier today my body was telling me, well, probably my emotions too, and my stomach and my mind, let's go get an In-N-Out protein burger, right? That was inside. Now I didn't pay too much attention to that one, but it would have been good if I did. My point in this is that your gambling is not going to stop. So you might as well just stop trying to stop the gamble until you focus on what's cause. And only you know the cause, soldier. Well, Santos, I never really looked at it. I never thought about it this way. You could have a point. I don't know if I want. Well, that's the choice that you have. And I believe that if you're going to defeat something, wouldn't you say, Jim? If you're going to defeat something, you might as well go, don't. If you're going to defeat something, what would you shoot for? If you're going to destroy a building, what would you shoot for?
I'll go after the feeling that the addiction creates. I'll go after that feeling, because that feeling is the number one, I guess, gravitational pull that takes you into the pit of darkness. That feeling, why do I get this feeling? This enticing feeling to go to my addiction. You know, it's so comfortable. It's so delicious. That In-N-Out burger. Right? Ooh, I can just imagine. I can imagine my stomach so full, and I'm
And that's the
relaxed.
body. The body, we condition ourselves for so long.
Hmm.
And it's not the gamble, it's not the addiction, it really isn't the addiction anymore, it's the cause. There's something underlying deep down inside that you have to get at, and if you're not willing to get at that, you're not going to stop the gamble.
Yeah.
If that is what's causing the gamble, in other words, if you want to stop gambling and you're having a hard time and you're not willing to go to the I don't want to call it the abyss, but the little rat hole that you got to get in there, if you don't want to go there, the likelihood is that you're probably not going to stop your gambling. You're going to keep going. What's going to cause you to stop your gambling is you're going to end up on your back on a hospital bed, or you may end up in the cemetery because maybe you drove your car getting home from a late night escapade and you were just depressed. I've seen it happen. You crash your car and that's the end. So it's not about the gamble. It really isn't about the gamble, even though maybe counselor will say, no, Santos, it is. Well, yeah, I understand it is about the gamble, right? But that's not, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, putting a band aid on something. That's how deceived we are. That's how distracted we've become, folks, that we can't even listen to ourselves. Remember when we were children, mom and dad? I remember many times my mom and dad, it was very rare. I don't remember any closeness with my mom and dad, and I care for them dearly today. I've had to forgive myself to be able to forgive them, but I don't remember any of that. And I remember all through my personal life, that's the way it's been. So I remember when I started trying to defeat this gambling, I wasn't going after the root, even though I was going after the root. Unconsciously, I was actually knocking the root out, even though I went after the gamble with doing a lot of journaling and doing a lot of this, doing a lot of the other thing, watching a lot of videos and just pushing, pushing, pushing. I never really thought to sit down and ask myself, what is causing me to gamble? It never really occurred to me to ask that question until maybe a couple times over the last few months or the last year. I think I've shared this before. I'm just sharing with you on the other side. If you're the type of person that wants to live in the permanent no gambling zone, and again, the gamble can apply to, it could be a metaphor. The gamble could be something other than gambling in your life, something that you're doing that you don't want to do. You're doing it anyways. It's like there's two people and the other person's in control and you don't want the other person in control. Or do you? Is it safe? What's my behavior saying? What's my body saying? What are the signals? What's my body crying out and yelling at me for? Go to the casino. Go do this. Go buy a bottle or go do this. Go. Why is the body doing that? See, we got to really investigate what is the body saying, and we're not doing that. We're too distracted with all the other things, and we keep falling, and we stay in the other day I saw the little mice. They've got these new little contraptions now. Remember the mice, not the mice wheel, the hamster wheel goes around and around. It's kind of interesting. Now they've got these things that they've got like ball bearings, and the thing spins, and the little hamster gets in there and he spins, and then it's going around and around, and that's what it's like. It's like you're in this thing and it's just spinning and you're going around and around and you just can't seem to get off that thing. And you get off it for a little bit and you're dizzy, right? And you get back on it, you're spinning again. Man, that didn't. I'm gonna try to quit again. Oh, man, wait a week, a couple days, and you go right back. Well, I'm gonna keep my wallet. I'm gonna spend $100. I'm not gonna ban my. You do all these things. You put all these band-aids on the thing, whatever it is that you're doing. Instead of thinking, you know what is my body telling me, man? Um, if you don't understand this, maybe you're hearing it for the first time. Take a listen to what again, because we're too distracted. There's too much music on. There's too many movies, too many sports programs, and then the family. A lot of family members. There's always gatherings, parties, and people coming back and forth. And come on, man, we'll deal with that. You ever hear that? We'll take care of it later, Jim. Yeah, we don't have to really deal. And you're sitting there thinking about this thing, and you got this. Come on, no, you better listen. That's the true way of peace and internal healing and growth. Hopefully, I've answered that question, Bill.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Santos. Yeah, you were talking earlier on TikTok about how men nowadays are becoming weaker, you know, weaker. And I really think it's, in this country, it's kind of like a blessing and a curse, because in this country, we're kind of blessed with a lot of choices. There's many choices in this country, but,
Too many.
Too many choices. And the problem is that, we are becoming weak by having choices of escape. I mean, like, I think about like, some countries that are not so good as the United States, not so well off as the United States. I don't see any beggars or homeless people on the streets there, panhandling, because those people are just too busy going out and trying to survive, doing work, whatever they can. I mean, I'm not putting homeless people down in this country, but I mean, we have all these avenues of kind of alternative choices that we can do, that kind of helps us, like easy payments. We can take a loan, credit cards, that's easy. I don't have to, hit it hard and earn the money and, earn that money. I can get it easy, I can go ahead and say, well, it's not my fault. It was someone else's fault. That's the reason why I'm in the situation I'm in. It's someone else's fault. Yeah. So it's really, it's okay for me to be like this because it was someone else's fault. That kind of mentality, it's like when we learned to swim, right? In the olden days, what did our parents do? They didn't give us little like, floaties. They didn't give us like a life preserver. They just threw us into the lake, right?
At
It's
one
like,
point, I almost drowned
yeah,
by
the only way
myself.
you can get out, right? You have one choice. You're gonna go out and you got to fight and swim. That's the only thing.
Yeah,
But
we have to.
unfortunately, we have too many choices. Too many
Yeah,
choices.
we have to learn to limit the choices, and we have to learn to get back. You have to learn to get back to respecting yourself as a man or a woman. You have to get back to that full respect where you treat yourself, where you begin to treat yourself with dignity and care. Now, I'm not saying you're going to do it perfectly, but that's what you need to do. That's what I need to do every day, right? We've ignored the signals for too long. The signals have cost us the body signals that we have missed, Jim, have cost us thousands of dollars. It has cost us a few, maybe a few possible good relationships. Time. Time is very mysterious. There's something about time. There's just something about when you say the word time, it's just a word. No, it's not just a word. It carries meaning, it carries a vision. Time is very mysterious. There's something about time. It's just, time goes on. People say, well, you create healing in time. No, time creates an environment for you to heal if you create the healing process. Time will hide a heal. In other words, time, you can be wounded and it can be hidden with time, but that wound can resurface again if it's lightly touched. And we ignore the wound. We ignore these things. And the body's crying out. The body's just saying, hey, let's go. You know what? Screw Santos and Jim. Tomorrow, I got a check coming for 500, man. I'm going to Thunder Valley to the top floor. Yeah, that's the body. But why is it saying that to you? Why? What is the body looking for? What is it that you're not respecting that part of you because you're not listening? And I'll tell you one thing, if it's a pet peeve of mine, I'll tell you right here. If you're ever in my presence and I'm talking to you eye to eye and you're not listening to me and you're not paying attention, you might as well pack your stuff and go, because that is a pet peeve to me. I won't ever do that to somebody especially if I'm person to person. I know in front of a camera it's a little bit hard to do because I'm distracted a little bit. But man, that's how we've become. And we got to get men and women, but in particular men, because I'm a young man, you have to get to that place where you are really listening to your body so that you can get rid of that weakness and you can become more of who you need to become more money, become more confident, you don't have to have all the relationships, screw all the relationships, have one or two good allies, but find those one or two good allies before you leave the planet so that you can at least enjoy life and maybe experience some of those deep down locked up emotions that you have never experienced. Hopefully you will, because they're really great experiences. And that's something that if you've never really overcome your trauma or you've never really began to heal from your trauma, you don't experience those emotions that you've had deep down inside that are wonderful. They're wonderful emotions. They're victories. I spoke a few times about my childhood and some of the things that I believe I still caused me to gamble as an escape. I embraced that crap. I embraced all that shit because it's made me stronger. It's made me the man. If I didn't go through the shit that I went through, God, I'm not glad that I went through what I went through, but it's made me stronger today. It's made me more uh, sensitive to other people that would try to do me wrong. Which is
Yeah.
something I really like, right? The ability to know something, a person, feel a person, understand a person, read a person before they even can get you. Uh, so, is it about the cause or is it about the effect, right?
Santos, one thing that I kind of realize is that most people probably were never taught how to handle emotions when they were a kid. No one taught you how to deal with it. Maybe they say sticks and stones will break your bones, but words will never hurt me. Something
Yeah,
like that, that kind of stuff. But that's probably, as deep as it got. But I mean, the emotions are the things that drive us to do things, and it can drive us to do the bad things. It's kind of funny. The emotions, if they are negative, you know, they find the easiest, shortest path to safety, security, to whatever, to feel better, to get back to that kind of stable state, right?
yeah,
And if you don't know how to handle your emotions when you get into a fight with your coworker, your boss, you know those emotions will take you to the casino or take you to whatever addiction you have. It's like it's how do we deal with these emotions? I
yeah,
think that's really important because I mean it's tough. I mean, we don't want to feel bad, right?
yeah,
And in this society, right? In this society, there's so many choices that we have to feel good. It's almost like this world that we live in is all about good feelings, good feelings. I want to feel good. It's not about doing the right thing for ourselves and other people. It's,
yeah.
it's
We
good
become like
feelings.
hamburgers, like chicken nuggets, French fries.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's what we become. We become microwave people. And I had to learn this the hard way. That's why I'm speaking out in truth. That if you wait and you keep brushing that signal, you're gonna pay a price somewhere. There's a signal going on. If you're gambling and you know you shouldn't be gambling, man, you're that signal that you're ignoring, it's gonna pounce on you like a bear in the woods. It's gonna get you like a wild one of those wild cats on a bike trail, and you're walking with no defense. That's what you're waiting for. And because of the fact that the lie has you so distracted, right? We believe that it's the problem. We got a problem with addiction, man. I got a problem with gambling. Yes, but your problem is deeper than that. It goes to another, your problem is somewhere else. So we over here distracted trying to do all these things instead of going right to the source and turning the switch off there. It makes doesn't it make sense to walk down the hall and turn, instead of having to turn off a bunch of switches, just turn one main one off and the main one turns the rest of them off. But what do? We're so rewired and our brain is working so upside down, Jim, that we don't even understand that anymore. We don't listen to our gut feeling. Our emotions are out of whack. And again, I know I didn't learn those things when I didn't even know what emotions were, probably till up maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I didn't know what emotions were. The word, the meaning, and all that. What's emotional intelligence? What's a spirit? What is the subconscious? And we do things unconsciously sometimes. We say things unconsciously. Our body does things without. You might even see. Wow, you might have a twitch or do whatever. You might see it. I don't even. I'm not even aware of it. The body. Those are all signals, right? If I'm real nervous, if I'm here and I'm scared to really talk, you're going to see me, shaking and stuff, and I pick up a pen. You're going to notice that, right? Signals. But all of that, what is the body telling me? If I'm here nervous and I'm here in front of you, that tells me that I don't have practice, man. Either that or I just haven't studied my notes. Sometimes I don't study them too much and I get a little nervous. That's the truth. But I'm here and I'm willing to fail because that's part of life. It's just part of the process. Be willing to fail, be willing to look funny, be willing to look stupid sometimes, get it over with. That's the child inside you. Let that child come out. Let him be free. And we suppress the child. That's why I say you suppress your child inside, your inner child, you're suppressing him, her. Would we really do that to a child? I mean, would we do that to a child, a physical child? Would we suppress that child, that boy, that? No, we wouldn't. We've been taught, trained to suppress ourselves. Therefore, we'll gamble, we'll lose money, Oh yeah, and there'll come a point where you won't be able to make any more money, right? We get so caught up. I've seen it. There's been people that have had so much money they gambled or they did the other thing and then they ran out. Something happened in life. They broke their legs. Ended up they lost a loved one. Got kicked out of the state. Whatever it was. They thought, oh, I got money. There's going to be more money. No, prepare yourself. What if the time comes? Okay, you stop gambling and then the bottom falls out on you. You stop gambling and the bottom falls out. What are you going to do? You got to learn. You got to, protect yourself. Guide. All right. Well, we're going to cut the program short here in a minute. Listen, if you feel supported, uh, please, if you feel supported, I'm speaking to Facebook, I'm speaking to LinkedIn and YouTube. If you feel supported, only if you feel supported, and if you support others, I'm going to ask you to share, subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed. You can give a like, comment, and if you, again, only if you feel supported and if you support others, donate. Buy a book. Hey, we got books. We've got shirts for sale that I'm even giving a shirt away. I got 2 shirts that I don't even wear. Yeah, they've been washed. They're new shirts. Unfortunately, they're too small. So I'm kind of giving them away. These are brand new. A brand new shirt. So I know somebody's interested. Maybe they have a little one they want. I got another one too. If you don't want to wear my face on your shirt, that's fine. I understand that. I probably wouldn't wear it either. No, I'm just joking. I'm proud of who I become. But I have another shirt, Optimizing Your ST. So, hey, send me an email, Santos. Do a donation or something. It's well, they are medium size. They're just tight on me. You got to be a kind of a thin medium person, I guess. Anyways, yeah. Go ahead, Jim. You got something on your mind? It's one of the other
Yeah,
ones. It's got the
yeah. Getting back to feelings,
logo. So, hey,
it's good to have good feelings, you know, and
yeah,
there's so much that we can go ahead and replace the good feelings that we have that are related to addiction with good feelings that certainly support yourself. I mean, think about how you replace good feelings. Before you had good feelings going to the casino, right? Now you have good feelings passing the casino and giving it the middle finger. I mean, those feelings I'm sure are much stronger, you know,
yeah,
and more enjoyable to have that kind of feeling, that good feeling of saying, you know what, I'm free. I'm free of this nonsense. A good feeling, to go ahead and have the boss, say things to you and you just go ahead and be quiet, take a deep breath and say, you know what, you know, it doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me. You know, doesn't bother me. What a good feeling that could be. We can substitute the trash, the narcotics, the alcohol, the gambling feelings, right? That kind of stuff with something that's above and beyond, much better in life. Something that's truly good for us. It's there. It's there. We can feel good to be in control of our lives. That's a wonderful feeling right there, being in control. Not having to succumb to, all the negativity and, the escapisms, the running away, you know, and if we can go ahead and just get a taste of that, try to
yeah,
have some way of cultivating, a positive, good feeling, that can go out and help us become more hungry, you know, to
yeah,
substitute all the trash in our lives, the escapisms, that kind of stuff, to working on ourselves.
yeah.
So yeah, feelings I think are very important. Emotions are important. We
Yeah.
have to recognize what kind of emotions we're having. Are they healthy? Are they not
Yeah.
healthy? How can we replace, substitute, to move us in the right direction?
In the gambling addictions program that I have, the digital program, I think it's $99. I'm not sure exactly what it is, the price. Um, I have a video in there where I talk about handling triggers and temptations, how to prepare for that kind of stuff. And I talk about that exact thing, that, when you become sensitive to yourself, when you learn to respect yourself, you begin to get these signals, and they're going to be good signals, as you mentioned, Jim. They're going to be bad signals. Your emotions, they're like alarms going off inside you, right? Yeah. Acknowledge the good ones that are coming along. Acknowledge yourself, you know, take care of yourself, groom yourself. I'm not talking about just combing your hair. My hair's out of place here. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about groom, train yourself. Treat yourself like you were another person, like you're bringing up a child. Train yourself in that sense. I know that might sound weird, but that's exactly what we got to do to ourselves, because that portion that we had as a child was damaged. So now the child is trying to come out. That child that was asking back then again, but it's coming out in different ways now because the body's grown. We become an adult, right? So-called we become adult. Please listen, if you hear anything tonight in this broadcast, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, myself, Jim, if you hear anything, if you've heard anything, listen to your body. What is your body saying to you? What's it crying out for? Obviously, if it's crying out for the gamble, you know that it's not the gamble that it's really crying out for. There's something else there's something else there that you really need to identify. That's the true way. That is the alternative. That is the cause.
I encourage people to, continue to think about and meditate on these two words, peace and direction. When you have peace, that's a certain feeling, right? Having peace. How do you go out and have true peace with yourself, with everything around you? I mean, you're having problems with your family members, bosses, people in your past life who wronged you, right? Mm-hmm. Instead of staying angry and bitter, why don't you say, you know what, I forgive them. I forgive them. I let it go. I put it down. I forgive them. I forgive them. Right? And having that kind of sense of peace, you're not attached, carrying that weight of anger and resentment, bitterness, having direction, right? Yeah. Meditate on what is the best direction for your life. Is the best direction taking you off the exit to the casino? Is that the best direction for you? Do you find peace? Will you find peace in your life? Yeah. I don't think you're having any peace, losing all your money, being behind on your bills, mm-hmm. hurting yourself, saying bad things about yourself, when you lose all that money. That's a direction that doesn't take you to peace, right? So yeah, I mean,
that's what we want. Mm-hmm. We want peace. We want healing and growth. When you have peace, healing, and growth, you've got something going on in your life. If you don't have peace, healing, and growth going on, then you're not listening to the signals. You're ignoring yourself, and you're going to land in the abyss. You're going to go if you ignore the warning signs, and that's just life. And as good friends, we must tell you the truth. The struggle is not the casino. It's not banning yourself. It's not the billboards. It's none of that. It's the root cause. I want to read just another section of my book real quick here. We're getting ready to land this private jet. Yeah, we're getting ready to land this. I know some of you guys want to get off here, go eat your cheeseburger, protein burger, whatever. I'm fiending for a Red Bull. All right, don't bust my chops now. Just joking. I don't know what Jim's up to, but I'm trying to keep an eye on the bots, Jim. I tell you, these things are something else. We'll have to talk more about these little things that are just running around crazy. Anyways, number 8, this is page number 56 out of my book here, the Little Red Book. Master your mind. We're coming to the end here. I want to say, first of all, those of you that have kept the 7-day challenge, good. Take it to the next level. All right. And the other thing that I'm going to tell you is that if you haven't written down your question, what is my body indicating? What is it telling? What is it doing? Write that down. What is my body indicating to me? What is it telling me? What is it doing? Could that be the secret for your new vision? Listening to your body. The 7 day challenge is on. So, once again, 7 days. Hey, if you can't do a 7 day challenge and you need a coach, I'm available. Okay, I'm available. There is a cost, a small cost to that, a very small cost. But then again, if you don't put skin in the game, like Jim said last week, I believe, you're not going to get anything out of it. And I'm saving you money too, right? At least a few pennies I'm saving you, so you don't spend it at the casino. All right, master your mind. Train yourself to dismiss unwanted thoughts immediately. Immediately at the foundation level before it becomes something that moves you emotionally. You have approximately 5 seconds to make a decision. You have approximately 5 seconds, maybe less, to make a decision. Remember, I used to teach this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Remember that? Some of you remember. Maybe Jim does. You don't have to say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 unless you want to. Sometimes you can just say, no, stop, get out. Really, all you got to do is say that. You get an unwanted thoughts, and I know you do. I get some wrong. I get some. I don't know, nasty booger thoughts. Sometimes they're just, and they come out of nowhere. Sometimes they come, and you got to really get rid of them, because if not, they become a pattern, a chain. And you know what I'm talking about? Those thoughts that come out of nowhere. You're driving, man, and you better hope that nobody was seeing that thought, that moment.
It's kind of
You
like
know.
Tourette's. Tourette's of the mind, Santos. Tourette's.
Oh yeah, and ooh, man, those I don't even want to. Anyways, train yourself. You have approximately 5 seconds to make a decision. Use this window to throw a wrench into unproductive ideas. Practice mindfulness in your speech. Consistently doing so will help you dominate your mind and take control of your life, leading to a greater inner joy. That was point 8, reference page 56. All right, we all got it. I want to say thank you to everybody. I'm going to look for one more question, and roast beef and potatoes and peppers with gravy. Yes, we're going to eat. Ugh! Wait, it's got to be roast beef in the crock pot that's been stewing for at least 6 hours. Potatoes, fresh onions, green bell peppers, a little bit of citrus, just a touch of lemon, and some spices. Oh, man. Woo, we're getting hungry now. Laura, thank you for being here with us. I hope you guys are healing. I truly do hope you guys are healing, because this is the power hour. This is our hour of power. Healing grace, our healing peace and growth. All right. Laura, K6, Christ brings a sword. Good to see you here. Again, make sure that you do a call to action here. Please, if you want to live in the PNGZ. Turkey burger. All right, Chris, Jesse, good to see you. Mr. Kevin, 26. There was Laura that was with us. Mark was with us. And who else? K6. John Smith. Good to see you, John. The hour becoming. That's encouraging, man. I appreciate that. Like that. I believe, and then shout out to all the big players there, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Let me see who else. Let me double check. I want to make sure. I know sometimes we get people in here and come in here and they just pop in. Oops, I can't listen to that. Get out of here. Bill Devine. There we go. Bill Devine. I don't know if we got you in here. Hang out with friends. So hopefully you'll have stories and then calls to spend my life inside. Well, you're at the right place at the right time. Oh, John Smith. There we go. John Smith. I didn't get him. And I guess that's it. All right, folks, we are going to see you. Thank you. I appreciate all of you guys. And hey, if you feel supported and you support others, keep Soldiers of Self-Mastery in mind. I'm giving away 2 shirts. If I get an email they're mediums. They're kind of for a small person. I'm a small person, but they don't fit me. I got to be smaller. We have the books. Get a book. Get a book. I don't care. Read it, study it a little bit. If this is all you can do it. Again, listen to your body. Go ahead, Jim. Last words.
Yeah, getting back to direction, uh, I think uh, if anyone can go ahead and speak highly of routines, you probably can go and speak highly of routines, especially being in the military. I'm sure the military had tons of routines, but that actually helped you, right? When you're in a routine, you do something over and over and over again, right? You have a direction, right? You have a purpose, and you do it over and over and over again. I think that's something that we have to think about as well. We want to know where we want to go. How are we going to get there? Let's go and try some of Santos's strategies. Journaling. I mean, you have like a ton of strategies, and sometimes it can be overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
But just focus
Yeah.
on one, like journaling, in the morning and the evening, write down how you're feeling, it's like what happened, right? Just do that. Get into a routine. Get that notebook. Go to the Dollar Tree store and buy a notebook and a pen, right? Just in the morning, start writing. In the evening, start writing, just do it. These routines, I mean, little by little, they'll help us, groove some of these things that we want to go and develop, those habits, good habits of mind, and when you start developing those good habits of mind, those feelings are going to go and follow those good feelings. And then you start gaining back that feeling of control, that power that we all want, and then you're slowly turning that ship, in the right direction. And I think that's important right there.
Yep. So support the mission. They make a great gift, by the way. Remember, it's not just about gambling. This could help somebody that has somebody that's driving around with bald tires on their car. Oh, nobody does that. You wouldn't know. People do some very gambling things that are not smart. Anyhow, I have something that I might be sharing later on. Maybe, I don't know. We've got some things maybe to help, possibly financially. We're testing out some programs, and there might be somebody that might be interested in doing what we're doing, because we're always looking for ways to generate more income. So I may talk about that in a podcast coming up, where some ideas, maybe Jim can throw some ideas on how we can generate more income. That might be something that you guys definitely would want to attend. Maybe the next episode we can do that. Dig in and just find ideas and talk about things that would inspire us to see where we can create more income. Maybe we're in with that. All right, Jim. That's all I have. I don't want to start preaching again for another half hour.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah. It's a new week. Just a few more weeks until the end of the year, right? Until 2024. So yeah, it's a great time to kind of start reflecting upon where we want to go. Where we want to go, new habits, new direction in our lives. Perfect. So we have this time. And we can go and get that good feeling of getting excited about positive change, right?
And look forward to the next broadcast, your hour of power right here. Peace, growth, not gross, but growth and healing, with Coach Jim and Coach Santos here. And we're going to do our best to take your questions on. And again, we're giving away stuff. If I get a bunch of money in the mail, I might even give that away too. Just don't take it to the casino. No, I'm joking about the money. We got to keep the money and use it for the mission. So, all right, until my next broadcast, I'll see you guys next Sunday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to be here with Your Solution, podcast number 332, and maybe we will talk about money. That's a good subject to talk about, right?
Money's emotional.
We'll have a good topic. All right, listen to your body.
Thanks, Santos. You have a great week. Take care.
Too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. Oh, and Merry Christmas to all. Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll see each other next Sunday before Christmas. All right.